Hello everybody, today we're going to be looking at the top 10 cornerbacks in the NFL, one of the most difficult positions in the league to play. A lot of these guys are absolute bona fide superstars, and we're going to be looking at the 10 best in the league. At number 10, we are going with James Bradberry, the corner for the Philadelphia Eagles, 6'1", 209 pounds. In 2022, he had a very nice year, was 10th in PFF coverage grade. He had 12 pass breakups. That was good for tied for third in the league, had 3 interceptions, and allowed just a 54.2 passer rating against him. He's long time been a very solid corner for both the Panthers and the Giants, but coming over to Philadelphia, he has really kind of emerged as one of the best corners in the NFL, was voted as a second-team All-Pro in 2022. At just 29 years old, the Eagles still certainly expect him to have a few good years left in him. They signed him to a 3-year contract extension, so they certainly expect him to continue to play very well. I thought in 2022, he was, targeted a little bit more because Darius Slay is on the other side of him, and he held up immensely well. I thought he was a fantastic corner, likely the best corner, too, in the league, and I absolutely love what he did for the Eagles last year. At number 9, Tyson Campbell. I think he is probably the most underrated and underappreciated corner in the entire league at this point. He's just 23 years old, was the 33rd overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the first pick of day 2. He has elite athletic traits, ran a 4.36 40-yard dash, has great height, great length. He really has all of the things that you look for in an elite level corner prospect. I think he, in particular, is a fantastic man-to-man corner. He took a massive step in year 2. He was up and down as a rookie in 2021, but really turned things on, especially in the second half of last year. Entering year 3, I do think he should be considered one of the best corners in the league. If you just take a look at his stats, was 7th in PFF coverage grade, 81.2, had 9 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, just an 80 passer rating allowed against him. So definitely has some of the stats to back it up. I think he's got the athletic traits. He's got the tools that you look for. He's still incredibly young at 23 years old. So I definitely think he is on an upward trajectory, and he deserves to be in this top 10 list. A lot of NFL fans don't even know who Tyson Campbell is, but you absolutely should. He's one of the best corners in this league. At number 8, STEPHON Gilmore, the corner for the Dallas Cowboys. He got traded to them towards the end of last year, 6'1", 190 pounds. He was very, very good for the Colts last year. After their season fell apart, they ended up trading him away for just a 5th-round pick, a complete lopsided trade for the Dallas Cowboys, getting him for such a little price. He's a 5-time Pro Bowl corner. He has been one of the better press man technique corners in the league for a long time. He's entering year 12. He's 32 years old, still one of the best corners in the league, had really good stats last year, 8th in coverage grade, 8 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. He did have an 82.6 passer rating allowed as well. I do think that generally he is somebody that is forgotten about sometimes because he's been in the league so long. He's done a really good job at this spot for a very long time. I think he does fly under the radar a little bit. He had kind of that one offseason with the Panthers, but going back to New England, to Buffalo, now with the Cowboys, I do think he is one of the better corners in the league. Well, he is 32, so we will see if he can continue to keep it up, but absolutely a elite level corner. At number 7, Marlon Humphrey for the Baltimore Ravens. He had a good year last year. It wasn't his best year, but still 19th in coverage grade, had 3 interceptions, 71.7 passer rating allowed. He didn't have much ball production, just 2 pass breakups, but a lot of the times they weren't throwing to him because he was much better than the guys lined up on the other side of the field. One absolutely insane stat is that he had 8 forced fumbles in 2020. He's a very sure tackler. He's very good at creating turnovers, and that is huge for a defense. I think he's very reliable in coverage. He's very good in press man. He is somewhat scheme versatile, but I really like what he does for the Baltimore Ravens. A lot of times teams just completely avoid throwing to him because he is so good on that one side. And I think that shows that Humphrey is one of the best corners in the league. I have him at number 7 here. Even though 2022 wasn't necessarily his best year, I do think he has earned that benefit of the doubt to be ranked in the top 10. Very similarly, I have MARSHON LATTIMORE at number 6. He only played in 6 games in 2022 as he dealt with a lacerated kidney that he suffered in week 5, but he's still one of the best press man-to-man corners in the league. He has a notorious rivalry with Mike Evans, which is one of the most fun cornerback versus wide receiver matchups to watch in the NFL. In 2022, Lattimore had decent stats, although he just wasn't out there very much. He did have a 70.1 coverage grade, 3 pass breakups, 1 interception, 58.9 passer rating allowed, which is a very impressive stat there. I think he is incredibly good when it comes to press man. No wide receiver likes playing against him because of how physical, how dominant he is at the line of scrimmage. It is just not fun to go up against MARSHON LATTIMORE. I think that and his play in the past absolutely means that he deserves to be a top 10 cornerback, and at number 6, I think that is a very nice spot for him, even if he didn't play much in 2022. At number 5, we have Jalen Ramsey, now on the Miami Dolphins. Ramsey was traded to the Dolphins this offseason in a very lopsided trade that sent the Rams a third-round pick as well as Hunter Long in exchange for Jalen Ramsey. It was likely just a salary dump because Ramsey does have a pretty big contract. He has a cap hit of over $27 million in 2024. So that is something that the Dolphins had to consider when they traded for him, but ultimately, he's still one of the best corners in the league. He did recently tear his meniscus and will miss the start of the 2023 season. Might not be back until December, so that is obviously a big blow. He also didn't have his best year by any means last year in 2022. The Rams team around him, though, was completely crumbling. I do think that he is still one of the best defensive backs in the league. I love his versatility, his ability to play really any of the positions on the back end of a defense. I think he can play safety. He's very effective in the slot. He can play inside, outside. He's definitely going to just follow the best wide receivers out there because he can line up anywhere on the field. Had a 77.8 coverage grade, 11 pass breakups, which is very productive, 4 interceptions, good as well. He did have a 98.6 passer rating allowed. That was definitely kind of where some of these inconsistencies in his game showed up last year, but I do think overall he is still a fantastic corner and definitely a top 5 player. The other 4 just are really, really good as well. At number 4, we have Darius Slay, the second Eagles corner to be on this list here. Slay has been fantastic ever since they brought him in from Detroit. He had a great year last year in 2022, was 32 years old now, so there's always a chance that age starts to catch up with him, but he was absolutely locked down last year. He was voted to his 5th Pro Bowl last year after one of his best career seasons, had a 77.4 coverage grade, 8 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, 76.8 passer rating allowed. He can follow around the best wide receivers in the league. He had a very fun matchup with Justin Jefferson, certainly won his fair share of that matchup there. I definitely think that he has proven that he can win against some of the best wide receivers in the league. He is really good when it comes to being just a lockdown coverage player. Teams just didn't want to throw to him. And, the alternative with James Bradberry wasn't much better. But Darius Slay was absolutely locked down last year, and he is definitely considered one of the best corners in the league. Before we get to the top 3, here are some of the honorable mentions. A lot of these guys are fantastic, dominant corner ones, but there are just so many good corners in this league. Some really notable names on this list: Trayvon Diggs, AJ Terrell. I think J.C. Horn is a very interesting player. Denzel Ward has been a great player in the past as well. Tariq Woolen obviously had insane ball production as well last year. I also think Chidobe Awuzie has been a really underrated player for a long time, coming off of a knee injury. Hopefully he can continue to get better. A lot of these guys are fantastic players. They just didn't quite make the list, but I do think they deserve a shout out, and a lot of these guys are great players in the league. Getting to the top 3, Jaire Alexander is at number 3. I think he is just a amazing player. He's one of the most scheme versatile players on the back end of a defense, and that makes him so valuable. He's so great in zone. He can play press man. He's very good in the slot. I just think that he has so many tools that you can really work with, move him all around. He can certainly follow any of the great wide receivers because he has that positional versatility. Alexander just provides so much versatility in doing that, and I think that is so incredibly valuable. He's just 26 years old. He's still ascending, one of the top corners in this league. Had fantastic stats last year as well. 82.1 coverage grade, good for 5th in the league. 8 pass breakups, 5 interceptions, just a 66.2 passer rating allowed. He was fantastic last year, and I do think that in a lot of matchups, he is winning them, even against dominant wide receiver ones. I love Jaire Alexander. I think he's one of the best corners in the league. I definitely think you can make the case he is the number 1 corner in the league. I think any of these top 3 guys absolutely could make that argument for, but I love Alexander. I just love these other 2 guys just a little bit more. At number 2, I have Pat Surtain, the corner for the Denver Broncos, and Surtain is just so good. He's got all of the things that you would look for in a dominant corner 1. He's got the ball production. He's got the physical tools, the height, the weight, the speed to be the best in the NFL. 86.7 coverage grade. He was absolutely sensational last year. He was absolutely locked down, had 7 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, did allow an 84.0 passer rating against, but man, he is truly impressive in coverage. He is very physical. He'll come up and hit you. He's a good sound tackler. He's definitely one of my favorite players in the league, and I really like what he has done. He's 6'2", 203 pounds. Like, he has everything that you would want: the height, the speed, the length, and he has just absolutely been a lockdown corner for the Broncos so far in his career. Just going into year 3, at 23 years old, he is going to continue to get better, and that is a very scary thought for NFL wide receivers. And then at number 1, we have Sauce Gardner for the New York Jets. One of the most impressive rookie seasons we've ever seen from a rookie corner, perhaps the best ever, after the Jets selected him 4th overall in the 2022 NFL Draft. He was targeted just 74 times in his 642 coverage snaps. That is an absolutely insane number, because they just knew to not test Sauce Gardner, because when you did, it usually didn't go well for your offense. He was first in PFF coverage grade, a 90.0. Tied for first in pass breakups, 14 of them, had 2 interceptions, a 53.9 passer rating allowed. He was truly impressive last year as a rookie, and he's only going to continue to get better, in my opinion. I think he has a lot of the traits, a lot of the tools you look for. He's got that edginess to him when it comes to his character, which you love to see in an alpha corner one. I just absolutely love Sauce Gardner. I do think he is the best corner in the NFL already, even after just one season. He may regress some back to the mean, but I still think even that, he is going to be a top corner in this league. Absolutely shut down. He just had great performances against some of the best wide receivers in the league. He showed he could do it against the best, and the stats absolutely back up this number 1 ranking. So that's going to do it for the top 10 cornerbacks in the NFL for 2023. Let me know what you think. Who should be higher? Who should be lower? Who did I miss? If you like this kind of content, please hit that subscribe button down below. Would truly help me out. While you're down there, hit that like button as well. Helps push this video out to other NFL fans just like you. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one.